Hi, I'm JC and I'm here to help you practice your English. Do you have trouble using the verb to be in the simple past tense or in other uses, say in the past continuous? Well, we're going to focus on using was and were today in 15 different sentences. Now what I will do is I will present the sentences, I'll get you to repeat them after me for pronunciation practice, and then I'll explain to you how were or was is used in each sentence. Right, so let's get started. Number 1. What were you doing when I called you? Repeat. Now in this sentence we have were you doing, which is the past continuous of the verb to do. So we have were, which is the simple past tense of the verb to be. We have you, because we're talking to someone, and doing, which is the present participle of the verb to do. Now, if we put this in the affirmative, we would say, you were doing. But it's a question, so we say, what were you doing? Number 2. Was the door locked when you arrived? Repeat. This time we have was because it is the third person singular of the verb to be in the simple past tense, and it's used with he, she, or it. And in this situation, the door is the it. Then we have the word locked, and locked is the opposite of unlocked or open, and it is an adjective in this sentence. So was the door locked when you arrived? Number 3. I was sick yesterday, so I stayed in bed. Repeat. Here again we have was because was is also used with the first person singular in verbs. So I was. I was what? I was sick. Sick being an adjective. I was sick. I was sick yesterday. Number 4. They were almost hit by a reckless driver. Repeat. Now here we have the expression to be hit. And in the past, they were hit, or if it was singular, he was hit, or she was hit, or it was hit. Now, to be hit is the passive voice of the verb to hit. If you hit someone, you are the active agent. But here in this situation, someone, here it is probably more than two people, more than one person, I should say. So they were hit. They were hit, the passive voice. They were hit by a reckless driver. Number 5. He was late for work yesterday. Repeat. So here we have the expression to be late. So the simple past tense, he was late. He was late. Number 6. Were you happy to have the day off work? Repeat. So the expression here is to be happy, past tense. Were you happy? Were you happy? Number 7. Bob wasn't home when I stopped by his house. Repeat. So here we have the negative form, wasn't. It's the contracted form. The long form would be was not. But when we're speaking, we rarely use that. We always use the contractions. So Bob wasn't home. Number 8. They weren't able to hear the journalist's questions. Repeat. So here again we have the negative form, but this time it's in the plural. They weren't. Repeat. They weren't able. So the infinitive of this expression would be to be able, but in the simple past tense, were able, and the negative weren't able. We say were because we're talking about they. They weren't able. Number 9. She wasn't ready when he stopped to pick her up. Repeat. So the expression here is to be ready, simple past tense, was ready, negative, wasn't ready. Try it. Wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. Number 10. Were you planning on attending the meeting in person? Repeat. Here we have were you planning, which is the past continuous of the verb to plan. In the present, you would say I am planning, you are planning. The past, I was planning, you were planning. So we have the question, were you planning? Notice also this verb, it's followed by on. You planning on doing something. Were you planning on attending the meeting? Number 11. What was your mother's maiden name? Repeat. So here we just have the verb to be and it's in the simple past tense. So what was? Now, do you know the expression maiden name? The maiden name is the name your mother had before she got married. Now in North America today, women when they get married, they keep their maiden name or they have a choice. Some people like to take the new name of their husband. However, some do keep the maiden name that they had before they got married. Number 12. Sorry, but I wasn't able to get the information you requested. Repeat. So here we have the expression to be able, the past tense. I was able, and here we have the negative form in the sentence, I wasn't able. I wasn't able. Number 13. When I was a kid, I liked playing outdoors. Repeat. So the expression to be a kid, and in the past tense, I was a kid because I'm not a kid anymore. So when I was a kid, you could say when I was a child or when I was little, it's all the same thing. Also in this sentence, look at the verb like. I liked. I liked what? Playing outdoors. You could say I liked to play outdoors. That would be correct also. Number 14. She wasn't interested in history when she attended high school. Repeat. So here we have the expression to be interested in something. So the past tense was interested or were interested. And here we have the third person singular, so she was, but it's the negative, so she wasn't interested. She wasn't interested in history. That's the thing that she wasn't interested in. Number 15. We were too young when we got married. Repeat. So here we have to be plus an adjective, to be young, and we have something to modify young, too young. So the person thinks that they got married far too young. Maybe they got married in their teens. It's hard to say. However, I must admit my mother was only 18 when she got married. But, you know, times change. People seem to get married a little bit later now. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go back, Listen to these sentences again, repeat, and maybe write your own versions of these sentences for practice, and then practice saying them. Make sure you say was and were, and use that form of the simple past tense. Don't say, I have been or he has been. When the action is finished, you should say was or were. All right? So that's all for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.